Hello viewers, welcome to my channel. Today we shall be looking at the topic inequality in one variable. This particular topic compares to simple equations. For example, if you have a 2x minus 5 is equal to 7, you collect like terms by moving negative 5 to the other side of the equality sign. And when negative move to the other side of the equality sign, the sign changes. If it is negative, it becomes what? Positive. That will now become 2x is equal to 7 plus 5. That will give us 2x is equal to 12. What do we do next? We divide both sides by the coefficients of x, of which the coefficients of x here is 2, divided by the coefficients of x, that becomes 12 divided by 2, x becomes equal to 6. That is exactly how you resolve simple equation. So, both of them uses the same concept, the same approach in resolving the problems. But what differentiates both of them is the sign of inequality and that of the equality sign. So inequality means not equal, whereas that of simple equation simply means equal, equality. Because when I substitute the number 6 in this particular format here, then we'll now have it as 2 multiplied by 6 in place of x. That will give us 12. And 12 minus 5 will give us 7. So that means what you have at the right hand side will be equal to what you have at the left hand side. And that's why we're making use of equality sign. But in this case, one may either be greater than the other or less than the other. That's why we're making use of these inequality symbols. So this one is known as less than, this is greater than or equal to. Now let's resolve the questions and see how it compares to simple equations. Question number 1. Here we have a 2x minus 3 is less than 7. We collect like terms, that is by moving negative 3 to the other side, that becomes positive when it goes there. That becomes 2x is less than 7. Negative 3 moving over to this side become positive 3. So that becomes 2x less than 7 plus 3 will give us 10. So what do we do next? We divide both sides by the coefficient of x. The coefficient of x here is 2. So that becomes x is less than 10 divided by 2. Then x is less than 5. That becomes the solution to this. Then if we are to draw the number line of this particular solution, that will look like this. In number line, 0 remains the origin. So taking the positive side 5, then the other side of it negative 5. We can have as many as possible using the scale of 2 centimeter to 5 units. So this becomes 10. If we are to stretch it further, this becomes negative 10. All right, so the solution here is 5. So all we need to do is to raise a bar from 5, open a circle. The circle will remain open since we are talking about less than. But if it is less than or equal to, that is when we shade the circle. Now we are talking about less than. If it is less than, you shade the left hand side. That is by drawing an arrow pointing towards the left. That is the solution to this. This particular number line represents the solution of this particular inequality. Now let's take number 2. You can give number 2 a try. I know number 2 may be a little bit difficult because of some of the little applications that we're going to do there. Now let's tackle number 2. I believe this number 1 is quite understandable. Now let's move to number 2. You can pause the video and give it a try. Please don't forget to click on the subscribe button as we continue to make mathematics easy and simple for you. All right, so now let's take a look at number 2. Question number 2 says 5 minus 2x is greater than 1. How do we resolve this? We collect like terms. All right, so collecting like terms, that is to say 5, we're moving over to the other side, so that the one that is attached with a variable will remain at one side. So this is positive 5 here. Moving over to this side become negative 5. One may decide to get 1 here and take 2, that is 2x, negative 2x to this side to become positive. Whichever way you do that, you get the same solution. So taking 5, that's positive 5 to the other side, That becomes negative 2x as we have it here is greater than 1. Then positive 5 moving over here become negative 5. So that will now be negative 2x is greater than 1 minus 5 will give us negative 4. This is what we call negative difference, when small number minuses a bigger number. Well, when a bigger number minuses a smaller number, it gives you a positive difference. As for this one, we are going to be having negative difference because the number that is subtracting the other is smaller than the one to be subtracted from it, which is what? 5. All right, so we are now to divide both sides by the coefficient of x. You have to pay very close attention to this particular one. We are dividing both sides by the coefficients of x. The coefficient of x here is negative 2. Recall that when we solved number 1, we divided by the coefficient of x, which is what? 2. But in this case, it is negative 2. When you are dividing by a positive coefficient, the sign will remain the same. But when you are dividing both sides by a negative coefficient, the sign of the inequality must change. That is the only thing, one of the things that differentiates inequality from simple equation. When you are dividing by a negative coefficient, the sign changes. If it is greater than, it becomes less than. Then as for this, dividing both sides by the coefficient here is negative 2. Because of that, the sign that we have here becomes what? Less than. Negative 4 divided by negative 2. Because we are dividing both sides by the coefficients of x, which is negative 2. And you know why the sign changed? The reason why sign changed is simply because you are dividing both sides by the coefficient that is a negative. So now we end up having x is less than, negative will cancel negative. That means negative divided by negative will give us positive. Then 4 divided by 2 will give us 2. So the result to this particular question will then be x is less than 2. Drawing the number line of the solution. Origin 0, this is 2, this is 4, this is 6. All right, so here we have the negative 2, negative 4. So our solution aligns here. So we open a circle. It's going to remain as an open circle. If it is less than or equal to, we share it. Remember, when it is less than, your arrow will point towards the left. If it's greater than, it will point towards the right, as the case may be. So this is the solution to this particular one. Now you can pause the video and give number 3 a try. Please don't forget to click on the subscribe button as we continue to make mathematics easy and simple for you. Now let's now proceed to number 3 question. Question number 3. Question number 3. Question number 3 says 5x minus 2 greater than or equal to 19 minus 2x. So we collect like terms. You can see 5x and negative 2x are like terms because they have the same variable. So for that reason, they will have to go to one side of the inequality symbol. All right, so that will now be 5x. We have negative 2x here. Coming over here become positive 2x. Remember, when the sign crosses the other side of the inequality sign, it changes. All right, so that becomes greater than or equal to, here we have 19 here already. Then at the other side, we'll have a negative 2. Coming over here become positive 2. So 5x plus 2x will give us 7x. Greater than or equal to 19 plus 2 will give us 21. So what do we do next? We divide both sides by the coefficients of x. The coefficients of x here is 7. So dividing both sides by the coefficients of x, that gives us x is greater than or equal to 21 divided by 7. Then x is greater than or equal to 3. 21 divided by 7 will give us 3. So to represent the solution on a number line, that will look like this. Here is the origin. We'll have 3. We'll have 6. We'll have negative 3, negative 6. So our solution aligns here. Is it going to be an open circle or a closed circle? All right, of course, it's going to be a closed circle because we have the term or equal to. When you hear the term or equal to, that's when you shade the circle. Then you have a closed circle. And what we're talking about here is greater than or equal to. So when it is greater than, then the arrow will be pointing to the right. But if it is less than, the arrow will be pointing to the left. So for this particular one, greater than or equal to, so the arrow will be pointing towards the right. So this is the solution to this particular one. Thank you for listening. In our next video, we'll be talking about inequality in two variables. Thank you for listening. Bye.